Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to focus, if I can, on the concern raised by Senator Isaacson and Senator Alexander and by the chairman on security and privacy. We have a law, the Federal Information Security Management Act, FISMA. Everything has to have an acronym. This is FISMA. And it requires each agency to appoint a chief security officer to sign off on the security of government web systems to ensure Americans' private, financial, and identifying information is protected, and that's a big issue. Secretary Spies revealed last week that the exchange is operating on a temporary authority to operate. There's a 2012 memo from Jeffrey Zients. Now, that's the gentleman that has been picked by the President to fix the Affordable Health Care Act, and they call him Mr. Fix-It. While head of OMB, he stated clearly that OMB does not recognize interim authority to operate for security authorizations. My first question is, why was the exchange allowed to go operational without the apparent clearance required by the Office of Management and Budget?
So
I'm going to go on and just, think about that a minute, and I don't like to do this, but, time is limited. Again, as part of the FISMA security assessment, an independent testing organization must perform a risk analysis of the security of the system. So my second question, and you can answer the first, did an independent testing organization ever test the whole integrated system end to end? I'm sorry to ask you two questions.
That's all right. The first question, OMB does approve of short-term authorization, so we were following the rules as outlined by OMB, and I double-checked that. The second one is, yes, we are FISMA and NIST compliant, and we did use an independent security firm. That would be MITRE, who actually did the work and did the testing. And the only piece that was not complete, which is the piece I've talked about before, is we could not test in a live environment until October 1, which is the reason we went with the short-term authority, because the testing will continue this month and next month as we do the software upgrades, and it'll be tested in a live environment.
Well, without revealing publicly, which obviously you can't do due to what you've just said, will you submit confidentially to the committee the results of the independent testing?
I will submit everything I can within the security guidelines, yes, sir.
All right. A September 27 memo addressed to you states that due to system readiness issues, the required security assessment was only partly completed. The memo notes that untested parts of the system pose a high security risk, and the contractor was not able to test all parts of the system and one complete version of the system. I have here a CBS News analysis, which I would like to include in the record at this point, and that found that the deadline for final security plans slipped 3 times, from May 6 to July 16. Security assessments to be finished June 7 slid to August 16, then August 23. The final required top-to-bottom security test never got done. Agency head Marilyn Tavenner, according to this analysis, accepted the risk and mitigation measures like frequent testing and a dedicated security team, but 3 other officials signed a statement saying that does not reduce the risk of launching as of October 1. That September 27 memo recommends a mitigation plan to address these risks and recommends a 6-month authority to operate. That recommendation was signed by you. Are you the official at CMS responsible for making the security authorization decisions?
So I think in the case, because of the visibility of the exchange, the Chief Information Officer wanted to make me aware of it, and I agreed to sign it with their recommendation to proceed.
Does anybody else review or approve that decision before it's final?
No, sir.
Like Secretary Sebelius? Or?
No, sir. That was my decision.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I'll take the remaining 30 seconds of the Senator's time to just say again, I think as I talk to my fellow Senators on both sides of the aisle, this is a paramount concern. Consumers have to be absolutely certain that when they go on and they fill out that application, they give all that information, that is secure, that no one can hack into that and steal their Social Security numbers, their identity, and other things. And so I just think this is an issue that really has to really be focused on thoroughly, so that there's absolute assurance that that is secure.